Hey fellas, BradWeen here, and first and foremost, I want to say happy Movember to all the dudes out there growing their mustaches for prostate cancer awareness. If you guys haven't already started, there's no shame in starting right now, so go ahead and start growing your mustaches, fellas. Now, UFC 139, November 19th at the HP Pavillion in San Jose, California, Shogun versus Henderson. Oh my god. Henderson left the UFC in devastating fashion, went over the Strike Force, hit a little rope block with Jake Shields, but came storming back, winning the light heavyweight title, beating Fedor Emelianenko with awesome fashion. Now he's coming back to the UFC to make another stamp in the business, which I'm very excited to see. So I'm going to talk to you guys about the main card and what I think the predictions are going to be. So here are my predictions. For the main event, we have Dan Henderson versus Shogun. We have for the co-main event, Urijah Faber versus Brian Bowles. Wanderlei Silva versus Cung, and Rick, the horror story against Martin Kampmann. Now, first, let's get off to Martin Kampmann and Rick's story. Both these guys are coming off pretty brutal losses on their career, especially Rick's story. He was just blowing up through his division, and Charlie Brenneman was just too much for him. He didn't have really much answer for Charlie's takedowns, which kind of surprised me because, I've seen Rick's story fight, great fighters, and just to get so, worked over by Charlie Brenneman, it kind of shocked me. That was a huge upset. Now for Martin Kampmann, he had a tough split decision loss against Jake Shields, and a really bad loss against Diego Sanchez. Diego Sanchez is like reborn. He's going to be doing just fine now that he's back with Greg Jackson's camp. But enough about Diego. Going to the fight. Both these guys are coming off tough losses, like I said, but I can't really see, if Rick has a terrible time getting, working wrestling, I think Martin should just take him down and try to work the submission. But if Rick comes out the fight, he's gonna be all over Kampmann. He's an all-around great fighter. But if Kampmann keeps, if you learn something from watching the Charlie Brenneman fight, I don't know what was wrong with Rick's story, but he just can do anything with his takedowns. So if Kampmann just takes him down, I think Kampmann's gonna squeak out with the decision. So that's my decision. Martin Kampmann, split decision. Now, Wanderlei Silva against Cung. This is very exciting. Wanderlei Silva got off a devastating knockout loss to Chris Lieben with like 27 seconds in the first round. They were just slugging away. Good old-fashioned slugfest is always good to see once in a while. And Cung hasn't seen action since last June. Now, he did win against Scott Smith, revenging his loss, which is always good for a fighter. But here's the thing. Cung, he's got the speed, even though he's 39 years old. I think he's still good. He gets a bad rap because of his movies and how he's known for being lazy. But, kind of like Rampage Jackson. But Wanderlei Silva, he's coming off Rocky. He's like flip-flop. He's up and he's out. He's up, he's down. He has great wins, and he has brutal losses. His win against Bisping was amazing. That was like vintage Wanderlei Silva from like Pride days. He was just so well. He looked so good, and he was just all over Bisping. And then he got his devastating knockout loss to Lieben. It's like they say, once you get knocked out, they say that you have more slighter chances of getting knocked out more each time. So it's like Rampage knocked him out brutally. Lieben knocked him out with like no problem. It's just if Cung hits him with a good shot, it's like doesn't even have to be super clean. Just a really good power shot, I think Silva's gonna drop. So with Cung, not seeing the action, he might have ring rust. But, Cung a pro. I don't think he's going to have any problem. Even though I love Wanderlei Silva and I always root for him, I have to give it to Cung. I think he's too fast, and it's not going to take much to knock out Wanderlei Silva anymore, which is sad to say. But I'm giving it to Cung Second round TKO. Now, co-main event, Urijah Faber, Brian Bowles. Both used to be champions in their division, respective divisions. Now they're fighting each other. This is exciting. These guys are both great. Brian Bowles coming off, a couple good wins, and Urijah Faber coming off that spectacular loss. And I know it's hard to think spectacular loss, but if you guys saw that fight between Urijah Faber and Dominic Cruz, that was the single best fight all of mixed martial arts this year. That was so. If you wanted to watch a perfect mixed martial arts fight, that was the fight. It was so good. I can't brag about it enough. But I'm going to have to give it to Urijah Faber. I think he's got too much. He has more experience than Brian Bowles. And I think Faber is going to be going back to his roots. Even if he just fights like how he fought in Dominic Cruz fight, he's going to end up winning against Brian Bowles. Brian Bowles is a great young kid. He's got a great future. But Faber has the experience, and it's going to show in this fight. So unanimous decision victory to Urijah Faber. Now, main event, Henderson versus Shogun. Very exciting. Both coming on great wins. Shogun coming off his great revenge win. He revenged his loss to Forrest, which was devastating fashion. Like, I'm talking vintage, pride, open weight champion. Pride champion, victory, just so devastating. He exploded out of pride and just killed everybody in his path. And he was hungry. He was hungry when he fought in pride. And then when he fought against Forrest, he was hungry for that win. He wanted that win, and he got it in devastating fashion. Now, Henderson, what can you say about Hendo? He's one of the most well-respected guys in all MMA. He's a pioneer of this sport. He's the man. He left UFC with a big bang against Michael Bisping, lost against Jake Shields, came back, won the title in Strikeforce, and knocked out, Fedor Emelianenko. Now, both these guys got good momentum going in, but I think Hendo's got the biggest momentum going in. He's leaving Strikeforce as a champ, and he just come off that great win against Fedor Emelianenko. Fedor Emelianenko is well renowned, the best fighter back then. He's kind of hit a couple roadblocks, but just being able to say, yeah, I beat Fedor is a great thing you can add to your resume. But if Shogun is hungry for this fight, he's ranked number 10 pound per pound fighter, number 2 light heavyweight, and if he comes out hungry like he did with Forrest, this is going to be a great fight. It's really hard to call this fight. I even might have to call it a draw, but I don't think I can. I think with Hendo's his great wins, he's going to have all that momentum going in fighting Shogun, and I think Shogun is going to get hurt bad. I think Hendo's going to be Hendo. I don't know how to explain it. He's just going to go in there and does what he does best, and that's beat up people. So I have to give it to Henderson. I'm going to say unanimous decision victory, and he's going to go on to fight Jones next if Jones ends up winning his fight. That's what I'm saying. So that's my predictions for UFC 139. It all goes down November 19th at the HP Pavillion in San Jose, California. So be sure to tune in, guys, and I hope you guys enjoy the fights.